The Secret Life of the Doe, Queen of the Whispering Woods. Moonlight drips gently through the canopy, painting silver patterns across the forest floor. In this quiet hour, a soft shape emerges from the shadows, delicate, alert, and almost woven into the darkness itself. The doe steps forward, her hooves barely touching the earth, as though she fears disturbing the dreams of the forest. Her ears twitch with the slightest whisper of the wind, decoding stories carried from miles away of predators, storms, and hidden dangers. Her life moves in silence, yet every heartbeat is a conversation with the world around her. She breathes deeply, tasting the night, measuring its secrets with ancient instinct. The forest stretches before her like a living maze, but she has learned its paths since birth, safe hiding spots, quiet feeding grounds, and escape routes carved by generations of survival. Her gentleness hides a fierce wisdom born from years of outsmarting wolves, bobcats, and the harsh cold of winter. She pauses beside a fallen log, eyes glowing softly in the moonlight, sensing something humans often forget, the delicate rhythm of life that exists only when one listens. A cricket chirps, a distant owl hoots. The world is alive, speaking in languages only the wild can understand. Yet in this stillness, she is not fearful. She is the queen of the whispering woods, moving with grace that needs no crown. Her story is not one of power, but of endurance, instinct, motherhood, and miracles written where sunlight barely reaches. Her world is fragile, beautiful, and about to be revealed. A thin ribbon of dawn stretches across the treetops as the forest begins its slow awakening. The doe lifts her head from her resting place, her breath forming a pale cloud in the cool morning air. She rises with unhurried elegance, stretching each leg as though greeting the earth itself before taking her first cautious step into the pale light. She moves toward the thicket's edge where the dew clings to every blade of grass. Her coat glimmers faintly in the early sunlight, blending into shades of brown and gold that make her nearly invisible. Camouflage is not a choice, it is a birthright. The forest protects her, but she must also protect herself by learning its unspoken rules. She lowers her head, feeding gently on tender shoots still heavy with dew. She does not rush, but she never fully relaxes. Every few bites she pauses, ears rotating with precision, catching distant sounds the human ear would overlook: a squirrel scrambling up bark, the flutter of wings, the far-off snap of a branch. Each sound is a clue, and her survival depends on interpreting them correctly. A light breeze carries scents from beyond the clearing. She raises her head, nostrils flaring softly. The freshness of wet earth mingles with the faint musk of other deer who passed through earlier in the night. These familiar scents reassure her. Community means safety. Where others walk, danger often keeps its distance. The sun climbs higher, warming the forest floor. She follows a narrow, winding path shaped by generations of hooves. Every turn, every twist, she knows intimately, as if the land itself whispered these directions into her memory. Her ancestors carved these trails not for convenience but for survival routes that offer cover, quiet steps, and quick exits. A startled rabbit darts across her path. She freezes instantly, not from fear, but from instinct. Small animals react first, signaling early warnings. She follows the rabbit's direction with her eyes until she's certain there is no pursuing danger. Only then does she continue, her steps silent and precise. She approaches a shallow stream where sunlight breaks into shimmering pieces across the water's surface. She pauses at the bank, studying the ripples for any hidden movement. Her reflection dances gently before her. Only after the silence feels safe does she lower her head to drink, drawing cool water into her body with measured sips. She lifts her head, droplets clinging to her chin, ears flicking toward a subtle rustle deep within the trees. A fox passes through the underbrush, its red coat flashing briefly between the shadows. The doe watches closely, but does not flee. The fox is no threat to her. Their worlds cross with quiet tolerance, each respecting the other's boundaries. As the morning stretches on, she journeys deeper into the woods, where sunlight filters through thick branches in narrow beams. She moves in and out of these golden columns like a ghost slipping between dimensions. Each step is deliberate. Each pause is part of a survival dance older than human memory. The forest vibrates with hidden lifebirds gossiping in the canopy, insects weaving invisible threads in the air, small critters rummaging beneath layers of fallen leaves. The doe listens to all of it. She does not speak their languages, yet she understands their meaning. In the wilderness, silence can be a warning. Noise can be guidance. Everything has purpose. She stops at a cluster of bushes heavy with berries. She nibbles gently, savoring the sweetness. Nutrition is not just about feeding. It prepares her for future hardships, long winters, unexpected predators, the exhaustion of motherhood. Her body must remain strong, not just for her own survival, but for the fawns she may one day protect. A distant crack echoes through the woods. She stiffens. Not the natural sound of branches breaking under weight, but something sharper, something unfamiliar. She leans into the wind, searching for scent or hint. When nothing follows, she cautiously resumes moving, but avoids open spaces. Instinct directs her toward deeper cover. The forest's protection is strongest in shadowed places where danger hesitates to follow. Clouds drift slowly overhead as the afternoon softens. She moves toward a ridge overlooking a hidden valley rich with food and shelter. This valley holds memories' safe births, harsh winters survived, and encounters where danger came too close. She knows every dip and hollow, every log and stone. Her life is imprinted on this land. She pauses at the ridge's edge, scanning the valley below with unblinking accuracy. Her eyes catch the slightest flicker of movement, a young buck stepping into the clearing, still learning the boundaries of his world. She watches him with gentle awareness, recognizing the uncertainty in his step. Once, she too walked with such innocence. Descending the slope, she slips between towering trees whose roots twist like ancient veins across the soil. She navigates them effortlessly, each step calculated, each movement fluid. Grace is her armor, quietness her shield. As she reaches the valley floor, the forest embraces her with cooler air. She grazes again, this time choosing leaves and herbs rich in moisture. These plants keep her hydrated without needing to expose herself at streams, too often where predators lengthen, as the day moves toward evening. The forest's tone changes brighter, calls grow soft, nocturnal whispers awaken. She turns toward her resting area, a carefully chosen thicket surrounded by dense shrubs. Safety here is no accident. She chose this spot seasons ago after escaping a coyote by mere seconds. She nestles into the soft earth, folding her legs beneath her in a perfect blend of alertness and rest. Her ears remain active, even as her eyes grow heavy. She falls into light sleep, dreaming in fragments, listening even in slumber. The forest holds her gently as night rises once more. Dawn breaks gently over the whispering woods. Mist clings to every leaf and branch, and the first rays of sun pierce the canopy in thin, golden shafts. The doe rises from her resting spot, muscles stretching with quiet precision. Each limb moves independently yet in harmony, a symphony of balance honed by instinct and time. She steps into the soft undergrowth, alert but calm, listening to every creak, chirp, and rustle of her forest home. The air carries the scent of fresh earth, damp moss, and distant flowers awakening from the night. Her nose flares subtly, catching hints of other animals, some friend, some foe. Life in the woods is a conversation of smells, a language she has spoken since birth. Every scent tells a story. A predator passed by last night, a fawn marking its first territory, or the faint trace of rain that will soon wash the soil clean. She moves along a narrow, winding path, careful not to disturb the delicate balance beneath her hooves. Fallen leaves crunch softly, each sound a test of patience. Her eyes sweep the underbrush, attentive to the tiniest motions, a leaf fluttering unusually, the shadow of a hawk overhead, or a sudden flicker along the stream. Survival depends on noticing what others might ignore. Crossing a shallow brook, she pauses. Water flows around her legs in gentle currents, reflecting the soft morning light. Tiny fish dart beneath the surface, unaware of the silent observer. She drinks sparingly, careful not to make ripples that could attract attention. Her reflection wavers, and for a brief moment she studies herself, the graceful form that is both vulnerable and resilient, delicate and powerful. The forest awakens in layers around her. Birds lift from hidden perches, filling the air with calls that echo across the trees. A squirrel darts along a branch, tail flicking nervously as it vanishes into a hollow. Even the wind carries secrets whistling, curling through the leaves, whispering of approaching clouds, of predators, of rain. She listens to everything, interpreting each signal with an instinct older than memory. As the morning stretches, she approaches a grove of berry bushes. Juicy clusters hang low, ripe for the picking. She nibbles gently, tasting the sweet, tangy richness. Each bite fortifies her, adding strength for the journey ahead. Even nourishment is a delicate art. She selects only the ripest, avoiding overripe berries that might invite insects or alert predators. Balance is everywhere the forest offers, but it also tests it. A distant sound makes her pause, a sharp cracking branch, far yet distinct. Her ears swivel, catching the vibrations. A bobcat moves through the underbrush, hunting silently, muscles coiled, eyes intent. The doe watches but does not flee. They share this space in silent acknowledgement. Predator and prey, respecting boundaries that have been etched into the forest over centuries. She shifts slightly, maintaining distance, each movement measured, careful, deliberate. She wanders deeper into the woods, where sunlight barely touches the ground. Shadows stretch long, forming natural corridors that guide her. Here, the undergrowth thickens, ferns brushing against her sides, and the scent of wet earth grows stronger. She moves like a ghost, leaving almost no trace of her passing. Every step is both protection and performance, grace as survival, elegance as instinct. A sudden rustle draws her attention. A fawn emerges, trembling slightly, eyes wide with innocence. The doe watches it with soft, patient caution. She knows the forest as a teacher, and she recognizes its lessons in the young ones who wander blindly. She does not approach, but observes, understanding that every life must find its path. Even in stillness, she conveys wisdom, a silent guide hidden in plain sight. The sun climbs higher, warming the earth and awakening new sounds. Bees buzz among wildflowers, carrying pollen to hidden corners. A crow cries overhead, its voice harsh and commanding. Life is everywhere thriving, dangerous, miraculous. She moves alongside a fallen log, noting its mossy surface, the insects beneath it, the tiny plants sprouting from cracks. The forest is alive in every dimension, and she is part of its constant rhythm. By mid-morning, she reaches a familiar clearing, a place she often visits to rest and observe. Here, the forest spreads out, revealing hidden pools, tangled vines, and shaded hollows. Sunlight filters through the canopy, spotlighting patches of earth like a natural stage. She stands in the center, ears rotating, nostrils flaring, eyes scanning. She is both small and immense in this world, fragile yet fearless, unseen yet central. A gentle wind stirs the leaves, carrying scents of distant predators. Wolves roam these woods, silent and deadly. She knows their tracks, the scent of their passage, and the places where cover is safest. She pauses, muscles tensed, waiting for the warning that tells her it is safe to move again. Minutes stretch into moments, stretched by her patience and vigilance. As afternoon approaches, the forest becomes a symphony of hidden movement. The doe navigates fallen branches and uneven terrain with quiet precision. Every step is measured, each pause deliberate. She drinks from another stream, watching her reflection ripple and shift with the current. Life depends on observation, on learning the patterns of the forest, on understanding when to act and when to remain invisible. In the shade of an old oak, she finally rests. Her legs fold beneath her, ears flicking at distant sounds, eyes half closed but alert. She dreams lightly of the forest, the streams, the fawns, the predators, the wind through the leaves. Every instinct, every lesson, every observation merges into a rhythm that guides her life. The forest is both a teacher and a guardian as evening approaches. Shadows stretch long, and the whispering woods grow quieter. The doe rises, muscles coiling with the promise of movement. She navigates toward her sleeping grounds, hidden beneath thick shrubs and woven roots. Here she will be safest, shielded from hunters and storms alike. Night falls. Moonlight filters through the canopy in pale silver streams. The forest hums with nocturnal life. Owls call softly, crickets chirp in rhythm, and the wind carries the scent of distant rain. The doe curls into her resting place, ears twitching at every sound, nostrils flaring gently. Even in rest, she listens, learns, and remains connected to the life around her. She is not just a creature of flesh and bone. She is a guardian of the woods, a silent observer, a participant in the rhythm of life. Her movements are poetry, her instincts a lesson, her existence a reminder that beauty and survival are intertwined. In this forest, every shadow has meaning, every sound carries knowledge, and every heartbeat counts. The whispering woods cradle her gently as sleep draws near. She is the queen here not by force, but by understanding, by grace, and by a deep connection to the world that surrounds her. Life is fragile. Life is beautiful. Life is hers to navigate, protect, and teach. The forest holds its breath around her, watching, whispering, waiting, and she listens, ready for the next chapter of life in the woods. Dusk falls softly over the whispering woods, painting the canopy in shades of amber and violet. The doe moves with quiet authority, muscles coiled, eyes scanning, every sense alive. She has grown since the days of cautious steps and wide-eyed observation. The forest knows her now not just as a fleeting presence, but as a force of elegance, awareness, and experience. Each breath she takes merges with the rhythm of the trees, the streams, and the undergrowth.
She pauses near a hidden grove, a secluded sanctuary where the soft moss cushions the forest floor. Here, life has taught her patience, the wisdom of stillness, and the art of observation. In this sacred space, she is both observer and participant. A gentle breeze carries the scent of distant predators, wolves that hunt in the shadows, foxes that move with silent precision, and birds of prey circling high above. She notes each sound, each scent, committing them to memory, understanding the constant ebb and flow of danger and opportunity. The air hums with anticipation. She senses life around her in ways humans cannot perceive. A fawn steps hesitantly into the clearing, ears twitch eyes wide. The doe watches, instinctively measuring the fragility and strength within the small creature. Life repeats, generation after generation. Yet every individual carries a story unique to its journey. She does not approach, she observes. She teaches through example how to navigate shadows, how to read the wind, how to survive. Night begins to drape the forest in indigo and silver. Moonlight filters through the towering canopy, reflecting on the gentle ripples of a nearby stream. The doe moves gracefully along the water's edge, careful not to disturb the delicate surface. Her reflection wavers, a ghost of her presence, reminding her that even in beauty, she must remain vigilant. Fish dart beneath the surface, frogs croak rhythmically, and insects hum in a symphony of nocturnal life. Every sound, every movement carries meaning. A distant howl echoes through the woods. The doe freezes, ears pricked, eyes sharp. Wolves are near, their presence a reminder that the forest is a delicate balance of predator and prey. Yet she does not panic. She understands the rules of coexistence, the dance of caution, timing, and respect. She steps lightly over a fallen branch, each hoofall measured, silent. Her camouflage is perfect, her instinct precise. Life has taught her that survival is not only about speed, but about strategy, patience, and awareness. The moon climbs higher, casting elongated shadows that weave through the trees like silent guardians. The doe pauses, sensing a shift in the air. A rustle nearby, a fox, small and quick, searching for sustenance. The doe observes its movement, noting its patterns, its subtle choices. The forest is alive in every dimension, and she reads it like an open book. Every predator, every prey, every whisper of wind tells her a story. Hours pass, and the forest deepens in its nocturnal rhythm. The doe navigates through thick underbrush, each step deliberate, each pause a measure of patience. She finds a quiet clearing, where ancient trees rise like sentinels, their roots weaving a natural maze. She rests here briefly, muscles easing, ears still attentive, eyes scanning the shadows. Life in the woods is never still, never predictable. Even in rest, she remains aware, a living testament to balance and resilience. As the night progresses, the doe senses a change within herself, a calling of legacy, a pull toward continuity. She has learned the forest, mastered its rhythm, and survived its perils. Now, the forest demands something more. She must pass on the lessons of survival, awareness, and grace. She moves toward a hidden hollow, a place softened by moss and protected from the winds of chance. Here, her journey of guidance begins. Spring approaches, and the forest awakens with renewed vigor. Flowers bloom along the streams, insects buzz with energy, and fawns begin their tentative first steps under the watchful eyes of their mothers. The doe observes quietly, understanding the delicate balance between protection and independence. She moves through the undergrowth, teaching through example, how to step lightly, how to read the currents of the stream, how to detect the unseen predators that lurk in shadows. Life is a classroom, and every moment a lesson. A predator appears, a bobcat, sleek and silent, moving with precision toward the vulnerable. The doe freezes, calculating every possible outcome, muscles taut, senses alert. She does not flee. She observes, teaching the fawns nearby the art of patience, the importance of stillness, the power of awareness. The bobcat passes, unaware of the silent lesson being imparted. The forest is a teacher, and she is both student and guide, a bridge between instinct and wisdom. Days blend into nights. The doe learns the rhythms of water and wind, shadow and moonlight. Streams become maps, fallen trees, markers, and the wind a messenger. She guides the fawns through hidden passages, across shallow streams, under the gaze of predators, teaching them survival through movement, observation, and intuition. She is the silent mentor, her presence both protective and instructive. Summer arrives, bringing warmth and life. The doe moves through fields of tall grass, guiding her charges with gentle nudges and careful steps. Birds circle overhead, insects buzz, and distant predators stalk unseen. Each day is a test, each step a choice. She teaches the art of evasion, the importance of patience, and the quiet strength of observation. Life is fragile yet resilient, and every moment carries a lesson. A storm approaches, dark clouds rolling across the canopy, wind whipping through the trees. Rain begins to fall, soft at first, then in torrents, drenching the forest. The doe moves swiftly, finding shelter beneath ancient branches, guiding her charges through the maelstrom. Lightning flashes illuminate the forest, shadows dancing on moss and bark. She moves with confidence, teaching the young the power of adaptation, the strength of unity, and the wisdom of timing. As the storm subsides, the forest breathes again. Puddles glisten in the fading light, leaves drip with moisture, and the scent of wet earth fills the air. The doe pauses by a stream, drinking deeply, muscles relaxing. Her reflection ripples in the water, a symbol of resilience, patience, and mastery. The forest has tested her, shaped her, and now she shapes it in turn. Autumn arrives, painting the forest in gold, red, and brown. Leaves fall gently, carpeting the ground in softness. The doe moves through the woods with calm authority, guiding the young, teaching them the rhythms of change, the cycles of life, and the importance of observation. She shows them how to move silently over fallen branches, how to detect subtle shifts in wind and scent, and how to survive with grace and awareness. The fawns grow stronger, their movements more confident, their senses sharper. The doe watches, proud yet humble, understanding that her role is to guide, not control. Life continues, a tapestry of lessons, experiences, and memories woven through every step, every glance, every breath. She has become more than a creature of flesh and bone. She is a guardian, a teacher, and a living testament to the wisdom of the woods. Winter approaches, bringing cold winds and sparse vegetation. The forest slows, life hidden beneath layers of leaves and snow. The doe moves carefully, conserving energy, teaching the young the art of survival in harsh conditions. Every movement is deliberate, every choice measured. She shows them how to find shelter, how to conserve strength, and how to respect the rhythms of the forest. Even in scarcity, life persists, and the lessons of endurance are vital. Night descends early. Stars pierce the dark sky, reflecting on frozen streams and quiet hollows. The doe finds a sheltered spot beneath a towering oak, curling into the soft earth. She listens to the wind, the distant call of an owl, the gentle rustle of leaves. The forest whispers its secrets, and she absorbs them all. Her journey has been long, filled with challenges, growth, and understanding. She has learned patience, resilience, and the power of observation. As sleep draws near, she reflects on the cycles she has witnessed: the birth of fawns, the passing of seasons, the lessons of predators and prey, the constant rhythm of life. She knows that her role is not only to survive but to guide, to teach, and to preserve the delicate balance of the forest. Her legacy is written not in dominance but in wisdom, grace, and the quiet strength that defines her existence. The forest breathes around her, alive with nocturnal rhythms, shadows moving, wind whispering, water flowing. She rests, alert yet serene, a queen of the whispering woods. She has navigated life's trials, imparted wisdom, and ensured that the next generation carries the lessons forward. The forest is safe, balanced, and alive, a reflection of her careful guidance and deep understanding. Life in the Whispering Woods continues, endless and interconnected. The doe's presence remains a symbol of harmony, patience, and the subtle power of awareness. Every rustle, every scent, every shadow carries meaning. And as dawn approaches, the cycle begins anew. Another day, another lesson, another step in the delicate dance of life. She rises with the first light, muscles coiled, senses alive. The forest awaits her, as it always has, as it always will, and she moves forward, silent, vigilant, eternal, a guardian, guide, a queen of the Whispering Woods.